PEBS Sports.
Welcome to our VRFL Week 2 game recap on PEBS Sports. I'm your host, Coach T. The 1-0 Browns come to Jacksonville to face the 0-1 Jaguars. Cleveland beat the Cowboys in Week 1, winning the turnover battle and overcoming Dallas 33-17. The Jags fell to the Dolphins last week in a great contest in Miami, which saw Jalen Waddle go off for 5 touchdowns. Click the card above if you missed the Week 1 recap, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of them this season. We have a rain game on our hands at the newly named EverBank Stadium, as the over 60,000 in attendance will try to stay dry as they cheer on the Jaguars in their home opener. The Jaguars lead this AFC matchup with 12 wins in 20 games since 1995. However, they have lost the last 2, falling short both times by less than a touchdown. The Browns won the toss and deferred, so Jacksonville's offense takes the field. Travis Etienne starts with the ball. He only had 3 carries last week, but they can expect to lean heavily on him with this weather today. Another carry for Etienne as he is met by Dalvin Tomlinson for only 2 yards. Lawrence drops back on 3rd down and hits tight end Evan Ingram on the inside slant. He's able to push forward for that 1st down. Back to the air. Lawrence looks left and finds Gabe Davis for 16 yards and another 1st down. This is a switch release between Kirk and Davis. Kirk runs a go route to clear out the defensive backs while Davis cuts inside. Lawrence sees the hesitation by cornerback Greg Newsome and rips this one into space with a well-placed ball. Another 1st down near midfield. This time they go back to the ground wide left. But Martin Emerson Jr. knocks the ball loose and it's recovered by Owusu Koramoah. The Browns will take over at the Jacksonville 45-yard line. Emerson lowered his shoulder right into the ball, and Etienne can't keep his grip in this rain. Owusu Koramoah there to fall on it and get the Browns defense off the field. So Cleveland's offense takes over after the fumble. Out of the pistol, Jameis Winston takes the snap. He lets it go for tight end David Njoku, but he's off target. 2nd down in the pistol again. Winston looks for Jordan Akins, but Kalen Robinson steps in front of the pass and comes down with it. Another turnover, this time for Jacksonville. Akins looks like he's running vertical, and Winston almost throws this like a hitch route. You can see Akins try to adjust, but the ball is behind him and into the hands of the Jacksonville linebacker. Either a miscommunication or the ball slipped in these wet conditions. Either way, 1st down Jaguars. Back to the ground with Etienne, who holds onto it this time for a gain of a yard. But on the next one, the ball slips and it's ruled a fumble recovered by Jacksonville and whistled dead. So they go to the air on 3rd and 9. Alex Wright charging off the edge. Lawrence forced to use his legs, keeps his eyes downfield, but no one open, so he takes off toward the sideline, and a bit of a late hit, and you see Gabe Davis arguing that point with the official. I think there was a miscue on pass protection here. Lawrence is not hot off of that side, but left tackle Cam Robinson, number 74, took the inside guy anyway. Not sure what left guard Ezra Cleveland's doing here, but the confusion allowed Wright to come off the edge unblocked. Luckily, Lawrence was able to get on his horse and get that 1st down. On the ground again as Etienne picks up 3. And this time it's Myles Garrett off the edge, blowing right by right tackle Anton Harrison, forcing Lawrence to check it down. They'll feed him again, but wide receiver Tim Jones misses his block and Newsome to tackle him behind the line for a loss of 2 yards. What is going on with the blocking in Jacksonville? Another 3rd down as they go to the air. Lawrence looks right and finds Christian Kirk for their 3rd down conversion on this drive. It's a Mills concept, which is a post paired with a square in. Lawrence reads the safety. If he sits, he can throw the post. But Mills is a quarters beater, and this is cover 2. So the safety drops back. It's off screen here, but the Jaguars are sending one of their backs out to the left, which causes the Mike linebacker to check him and shade over just enough for Kirk to come open on that in route. And Lawrence puts the ball right on his face mask. Great read and a great throw by Lawrence in this weather. 10th play of this drive as they go back to Etienne up the middle. But he's hit from behind and fumbles again! Luckily, Ezra Cleveland can fall on it to avoid another turnover. 2nd and 4, back to Etienne up the middle. He has a hole and picks up the first down before being brought down by Thornhill inside the 5. Center Mitch Morse gets to the second level and knocks Jordan Hicks out of the way. Great job by the big guy. Back to Etienne, but Owusu Koromoa meets him in the B-gap for no gain. Second and goal. They elect to pass. Lawrence fires. Touchdown, Jaguars! Christian Kirk in for his first of the year. Well, this is just a good old Lion concept where these two are running slants. Lawrence goes away from the Mike linebacker and reads inside out. The safety goes to help with the outside slant, and look when Lawrence lets this one go. The ball is already on its way by the time Kirk turns his head. He has to put it high enough to get over linebacker Devin Bush Jr., allowing Kirk to make a leaping catch in the end zone. After the kick, Cleveland takes over at their 26-yard line. It's a pitch to Nick Chubb, who gets ahead for a couple. 2nd and 8. Winston throws left, but off target again, but Tillman's able to haul it in. It is wet out there, so Winston can't quite put this one where he wants it. Cedric Tillman is still able to come down with it. Maybe he couldn't get his footing on the wet Bermuda grass, but you'd like to see him cut this one outside. And a handoff to Chubb for only 2 yards forces a punt. Jacksonville back on offense. Jaguars go to the ground again for a gain of a few. 2nd down and back to Etienne. He gets a couple of blocks and picks up another Jaguars first down. He gets 2 great blocks by center Mitch Morse and tight end Evan Ingram on this play. Morse takes care of the linebacker while Ingram seals off the safety and Etienne runs right through him. First down. Etienne carries it again, but Christian Kirk misses a block on Tony Fields, resulting in no gain. 1 down, 3 to go in Jacksonville. A few plays later on 3rd down, safety Grant Delpit sneaks through to stop them short and force a punt. Cleveland takes over at the 22. Winston all alone in the backfield as they come out in an empty set, 5 wide receivers. But this rain claims another pass as he's off target to Cedric Tillman. Couple plays later, Winston is under center. It's a 7-step drop. The linebacker sinks. Winston throws. He goes up top and picks him off. Gets around Nick Chubb with an open field in front of him. Pick 6, Jacksonville. Njoku is running a post route. The linebacker carried him, keeping his eyes on the quarterback. When Winston let this one go, all he had to do was climb the ladder and get it. So another try for Cleveland out of the shotgun, and the Jags pass rush gets home! Jordan Jefferson with his first sack of the year. 2nd and 17. Armstead swims over Jack Conklin, but it's Jefferson again! 2 sacks in a row for Jordan Jefferson. It's 3rd and forever. Not much in your playbook for 3rd and 24, but Winston finds Jamari Thrash on a deep out route, but not deep enough. Jacksonville back in possession midway through the 2nd. Sticking with the ground game in these wet conditions, Etienne picks up 2 more yards to add to his solid first half. Then on 3rd down, Jacksonville goes with play action. Lawrence, well protected, rips it to Evan Ingram, who gets him yet another first down. Etienne carries it again, and another missed block by Christian Kirk leads to a tackle for loss. Kirk read that nickel wrong and looked like he was trying to get to the safety. He's supposed to block the most dangerous man, but put them behind schedule with that one. You see here, he realizes his mistake, but it's too late. That's his 2nd big missed block today. I'm sure his coaches have a few choice words for him on the sideline after that one. So another 3rd down as the Jaguars go to the air. Lawrence looking for Davis, but it's a little too high and he can't keep his feet in. So the Browns take over with under 4 minutes in the half. Winston drops back. Clean pocket. He's looking for Elijah Moore, but another off-target throw. 2nd down, they go ground. But clogged up and nowhere to go for Chubb. 3rd down. Winston has Njoku over the middle, but they can't connect. Winston really struggling in this rain. And after a few more carries by Travis Etienne, we've hit the 2-minute warning. 3rd and 9 for the Jaguars with 5 wide. And floats it to a wide-open Gabe Davis, who's brought down around midfield. Lawrence sees that he's outnumbered to his left side, so he turns down the slant. The safety comes down to help the corner double-team Tim Jones on the outside. Davis cuts, and Lawrence leads him into space and drops it into the bucket. This time, Lawrence takes a deep shot to Kirk, but puts a little too much on it and can't connect. After a 4-yard run from Etienne to get him to 3rd and 6, Lawrence can't connect with Ingram, forcing Jacksonville to punt it away with just over a minute left in the half. Winston back in the pistol. He finds Jordan Akins on a crosser and he gets smacked, but he somehow holds on. Good ball by Winston and a terrific job by Akins to hold on to that one after that punishing hit. 2nd and inches, and Winston drops back from under center. Man coverage. He's looking for Jamari Thrash, but is well covered by Tyson Campbell. Winston is able to connect with Cedric Tillman, but the Jaguars swarm the ball and knock him down short of the line to gain. And that brings the first half to a close. On to the halftime report.
The PEBS Halftime Report is brought to you by Lonely Star, by the Revenge Brewing Company, the official postseason beverage of the Dallas Cowboys. Be like Dem Boys and reach for a cold Lonely Star when you're enjoying the playoffs from your couch. Just checking if y'all are still Dem Boys with Lonely Star.
It was all Jaguars in the first half as they led the visiting Browns 14-0. On offense, Jacksonville has taken over twice as many snaps and gained over twice as many first downs as Cleveland. Each team has 7 drives in the first half. The Browns averaged under 4 plays per drive, while the Jaguars sustained longer drives with an average of almost 8 plays per drive. They had 2 13-play drives as well as 2 10-play drives, while the Browns' longest drive, only 6 snaps. One quarterback weathers the downpour, the other is drowning in it. Trevor Lawrence has completed 70% of his total passes and has been 80% accurate against man coverage so far. It's been a run-heavy first half for Jacksonville, and he's under 100 passing yards, but does have a touchdown. By comparison, Jameis Winston has thrown more passes and completed only 36% of them. He's had the receivers, but the wet conditions seem to be contributing to inaccurate throws. The Browns' offense hasn't been on the field long enough to give Nick Chubb a chance. He only has 3 carries for 5 total yards on the half. Travis Etienne leading the Jaguars' ground attack with 25 carries, 56 yards. He's averaging 2.2 yards per carry on those 25 attempts. A bit of good news for the Browns' defense. They allowed the 4th fewest rushing yards in 2023. And speaking of the Browns' defense, they, with the help of the rain, have forced Etienne to fumble twice. He didn't put the ball on the ground at all in 2023. And look at these Jacksonville receivers. Each of them have caught 2 of their 3 targets and have similar yardage. Gabe Davis with the longest grab of the half at 24 yards, while Christian Kirk is the only one to find the end zone so far. Tight end Evan Ingram has been stretching the Browns' defense with his 11 yards per reception. Rookie Brian Thomas Jr. has been kept silent in the first half after his 2-touchdown game last week in Miami. As for Cleveland, their receivers have been held in check mostly by the weather. Cedric Tillman has caught both of his short targets, while Jamari Thrash has hauled in one that resulted in a first down. Tight end David Njoku, on the other hand, has been targeted 3 times but has come up empty. A glance at the defensive breakdown for these teams. The Browns have been 50-50 between man and zone coverages in their 36 snaps while sending minimal pressure at Trevor Lawrence. The Jags have primarily been playing zone coverage and haven't rushed more than 4 at all in their 17 defensive snaps. And why would they when Jordan Jefferson is wreaking havoc in the backfield? He brought Jameis Winston down twice on consecutive plays. And when the Browns do get a chance to throw, linebacker Foye Oluokun is another problem. He's only allowed 1 completion on 4 targets and picked the ball off twice, one of them for a pick 6. But the Browns' defense hasn't been going down without a fight. Myles Garrett forced a fumble in the red zone. He had 4 forced fumbles in 2023. And Martin Emerson Jr. forced a fumble as well, that one for a turnover. He also knocked down his single target and recorded 3 tackles today so far. Cleveland set to receive to start the second half. After a few short runs to start the half, Jerome Ford leads the way for Nick Chubb to convert 3rd and 3 on the ground. On a fresh set of downs, Winston is finally able to connect with Njoku, who is able to hold on to the ball after that jarring hit. So on second down, the linebacker sees Njoku cut across the formation, holding him up just enough for Winston to toss it over his head, but Campbell is there to knock it down. Luckily, that one wasn't picked. On 3rd and 6, they hand off to Chubb, but the linebacker sheds the block and knocks him down before he can reach the first down marker. Solid hit and shed fundamentals there. Cleveland punts, Jacksonville takes over. They're pinned at their own 1-yard line. Hand off to Etienne inside of the end zone. They're trying to make some room to work, but only pick up 2. And this time an outside handoff to try to get some space, but Tony Fields sniffs it out for no gain. 3rd and 8 inside the 5. Tight man coverage. The pass rush gets through. He hangs in there, lets it fly. Complete to Gabe Davis down the field. What a heartbreaking conversion for Cleveland. First down approaching midfield. They hand it off to Etienne, but again, Fields is waiting for him. Next play, Etienne hits the hole and picks up 4 to make it 3rd and 3 to go. Play action on 3rd and short. Lawrence rolls out on the naked. Hits Ingram, who picks up the first. We saw them do that same thing in Miami last week. 1st and 10, they go to the air. The ball seems to slip, but Kirk makes a great adjustment to grab it before it hits the ground. Another extended drive as Jacksonville goes back to the ground. Etienne able to pick up 3. Play action as Lawrence drifts left. Kirk cuts to the post. He heaves it up, and he's got it! Brought down inside the 10. Lawrence fakes the handoff and drifts over to change the launch point. He must have liked the matchup because the only other route in his vision is this flat by Bigsby. Right when Kirk puts his foot in the ground, Lawrence reaches back and arcs this one high. Kirk leaps up and grabs it, holding it tight to his body on the way down to the ground. Man, you can see the frustration the Browns defense is feeling. In the red zone, they go to Etienne again for a short pickup. And on the 11th play of the drive, they run it outside again. But look who it is, Tony Fields in to knock him down for a loss. 3rd and goal. They run it to the left. Etienne has a hole. He dives, but comes down short of the line. Etienne has a clear path to the end zone, but Juan Thornhill comes down and made a touchdown-saving collision to force a 4th down on the 12th play of the drive. 4th and goal, and they're going for it. Cleveland crowding the line of scrimmage. They run it outside, but the Browns defense holds up. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah makes the stop. Owusu-Koramoah blows right by number 77 Anton Harris to make this stop. You can't have mistakes like that in the red zone, let alone on the 1-yard line. So Cleveland takes over at the 4-yard line. They go to the air as Jacksonville drops 8 into coverage, looking for Njoku, but Trayvon Walker is there to knock it down. Winston and Njoku just can't seem to connect today. In the pistol, they'll hand it off to try to create some space, but the tight end doesn't chip him or anything, and Devin Lloyd hits him behind the line of scrimmage. Winston drops back from under center. 3 quick steps, no one open, and Jordan Jefferson in for his 3rd sack on the game, this time for a safety. The Jaguars predictably run it on 1st down, and Owusu-Koramoah is there to stop them for no gain. And that's the end of the 3rd quarter, 16-0 Jacksonville. They stick to the ground game and pick up 4. Another 3rd down. Lawrence drops back, turns down the left side. Well protected, he finds Ingram for the 1st down. They've converted 9 3rd downs today. Now on 2nd and 8, he goes back to Ingram to set up 3rd and 2. Too bad he couldn't turn upfield on that one. They'll try to pick it up on the ground with Etienne. He's met by Jordan Hicks at the line, and did he get it? They're trying to get to the 36-yard line. Just before the contact, it looks like the ball is at the 37.5. But right when they collide, it looks like the tip of the ball breaks the plane there, picking up the 1st down. A few plays later, it's 2nd and 8. Hand it to Etienne, who gets a block and picks up 5 yards. Gabe Davis read the safety coming down and adjusted to pick up that block. If Etienne could have had a little more burst to get by Denzel Ward, he could have taken that one to the house. But I'm sure he's gassed after carrying the ball 39 times today. Third down on the 9th play of the drive. It's play action. Myles Garrett closing in. Lawrence throws for Davis, but the defender knocks it away. Jacksonville with a 40-yard field goal to go up 19-0. Outside run for Chubb, but the linebacker holds the edge and knocks him down for only a gain of 1. To the air on second down. Tillman comes across. Winston lets it go deep. Finds Jamari Thrash, and he's across the 50. Finally, they catch a break. This is what Winston has been looking for all game. He finally gets a grip on the ball and delivers a beauty to Thrash. First down in Jacksonville territory. Winston under center. But the pass rush gets through. 4 Jaguars in the backfield, but Devon Hamilton comes up with the sack. Second and 13. Winston drops back. Well protected this time. He looks for Thrash. Did he get it? Were his feet in bounds? The Jaguars don't seem to think so, pleading their case to the official on the Cleveland sideline. Let's take a look. Right when the ball hits his hands, his left foot is in bounds. He spins to make the catch, but it looks like his right foot comes down out of bounds. Let's see. Yep. They're calling it a catch, so Cleveland got away with one there. They could definitely use the help. So 3rd and 1. And Hamilton gets to him again. When it rains, it pours for Cleveland today. At least they'll avoid the blowout as they get on the board with a 48-yard field goal. Lawrence takes the snap out of the shotgun, looks left, right. The pass rush gets by. He escapes to his right, and he's running, going for the first down marker, and he gets out of bounds for the first down. A few more handoffs to Etienne for no gain, and they find themselves at 3rd and 10 near midfield. Lawrence drops back from under center and is looking for Christian Kirk, who converts their 11th third down of the day. Kirk does a great job of selling vertical here. When Emerson turns, Lawrence lets this one go with some great anticipation. The ball is over halfway there by the time Kirk turns his head. Meanwhile, the corner still thinks it's a vertical route and is too far to stop that one. 2 minutes to go in the 4th. They keep things on the ground for a few plays, and Etienne is just able to fall forward to convert on that second down. And they'll stick with him for the rest of the drive to kill as much clock as they can between the Cleveland timeouts. The 9-play drive comes to an end with a field goal that puts them up 22-3. The Browns take over, and it's pretty much academic at this point. With under a minute to go and no timeouts left, Winston is able to sneak one by to Elijah Moore, who gets out of bounds to stop the clock. Strange under-center play call results in an underneath throw to Moore. Maybe they just wanted to rep that play instead of trying to take a shot downfield. And that's the game. So Jacksonville wins their home opener 22-3. We heard from wide receiver Christian Kirk in the locker room saying this about his performance. Quote, "I just try to get open and run my routes. It all comes down to execution so the quarterback can call your number and you can help the team." When asked about his missed blocks, he said, quote, "It was wet out there and there were some communication errors on my part. I'll get it fixed." When asked if the weather had an effect on his throws, Jameis Winston said, quote, "I just couldn't get no grip on that dang ball." The story of these offenses has been sustained drives and third down conversions. Jacksonville with twice as many snaps as Cleveland. They averaged 7.7 snaps per drive, including 2 13-play drives and 2 10-play drives. The Browns averaged 3.8 plays per drive, and the most they reached was 6. On third down, the Jaguars converted 64.7% of the third downs they faced, while the Browns only converted 1 of their 8 attempts. Trevor Lawrence was very accurate on his 18 passes, completing over 77% of them, while Jameis Winston struggled to throw the wet ball, completing only 10 of his 23 attempts. Their passer rating says it all. Lawrence with 130.3 and Winston underwater with a 20.4. Travis Etienne got his wish after only 7 carries in Week 1. They called his number 45 times on the ground, and he finished the game with 104 yards. However, he wasn't immune to the elements as he put the ball on the ground twice. Since they were playing from behind and didn't get very many snaps, the Browns only handed it to Nick Chubb 7 times. He finished the day with only 14 yards, resulting in only 2 yards per carry. Productive day from the Jacksonville receivers. Gabe Davis caught 3 of his 5 targets for 72 yards and was the team's deep threat by hauling in 2 20-plus yard receptions. Christian Kirk went 5 for 6 and scored the sole offensive touchdown on the day. Tight end Evan Ingram also went 5 for 6 and averaged 9.4 yards per reception. A different story for the Browns receivers. Jerry Jeudy was targeted only once today for an 11-yard catch. He caught 6 of 13 last week against the Ravens. Jamari Thrash went 3 for 6, 54 yards, and was the only one on the team to get a 20-plus yard catch. Tight end David Njoku, 1 for 5 targets, 4 yards. He and Winston just couldn't connect today. Jacksonville winning the defensive battle with 4 sacks and 2 interceptions, including a safety and a pick 6. Cleveland's defense stood strong, holding the Jaguars' offense to 13 points scored, 1 touchdown and a field goal, and forcing 2 fumbles, one of which they recovered. Unfortunately, the rain and those sustained drives from the Jaguars' offense wore them down in the end. Accounting for 3 of those 4 Jaguar sacks, including a sack for a safety, is our PEBS Player of the Game, rookie defensive tackle Jordan Jefferson. He was taken by the Jaguars in the 4th round of this year's draft via a trade with the New Orleans Saints. He had 6 sacks and 22 TFLs in his college career between playing for West Virginia and his senior year at LSU. Here are the next 5 opponents for Jacksonville, including 2 divisional matchups. The Texans, still in first place in the AFC South with a 2-0 record. Jacksonville set to face them in Week 4. In case you missed it, 3-time Super Bowl MVP Patrick Mahomes suffered a broken collarbone on a sack against the Bengals. No word yet on how long he'll be out, but they'll definitely miss him in that offense. And we will leave you with a look around the league for the results of Week 2. Thank you for joining us here on PEBS Sports for this game recap. Don't forget to subscribe to catch our recaps every week. We'll see you next time.